And then our next matchup is a 10-person tag match. Because you want to talk about the IC title ladder match being a group of losers. I mean, you just throw everybody else in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. It's Miz, Damian Mizdow, Adam Rose, and the Ascension versus Ryback, Zack Ryder, yes, you heard that right, Titus O'Neil, Darren Young, and Eric Rowan. And we have got Bill Simmons on commentary.
I actually really enjoyed Simmons on commentary. I'm going to say that right now.
I thought he was very fun. If I had to really complain about anything else outside of the main event segment on this show, it's that JBL was being all antagonistic leading up to Bill Simmons arriving, and then as soon as he shows up, JBL immediately turns the other cheek and is acting all friendly and cordial and this and that with Simmons. I mean, not saying that I wanted to actually see a clothesline from hell or whatever, but if you're going to build to something, don't just throw it away as soon as you know things could have the chance to implode.
No, but you know what, though? What I love is that Simmons did end up kind of getting him back verbally.
He did.
Because he did the whole, like, oh, yeah, I used to be such a big fan of was it Bobby the Brain Heenan? Was that the guy that he was talking? Yeah, because he was the first guy to ever really bring that personality to the announce desk. And then JBL comes along, and I think you've set back the job 15 years.
Yeah, a lot of Bill Simmons' lines really surprised me. In fact, some people were accusing him of like breaking the fourth wall and exposing the business because they were talking about WrestleMania. And he said, "Oh yeah, we're a big fan of WrestleMania. You know, my son, he loves WrestleMania because that's when John Cena beat you for the title, JBL. And you put him over." And he actually used that term.
Yeah.
So I was a little bit uncomfortable, but you know what, Bill Simmons compared to so
many.
Well,
I mean, from what I can remember, Michael Cole has already, at one point, I remember very specifically, he was giving JBL credit for something, and JBL, like, cut him off, and he insulted him, and he was like, well, I'm trying to put you over, and you cut me off, and something like that. So it's not like it's the first time that the term being put over has been used on commentary over the last few months, maybe years.
Certainly true. And again, I was getting ready to say, considering the past instances of guest hosts, of which there is a great multitude, more than I care to admit, associating with the WWE product, Bill Simmons was definitely very enjoyable. Him and Snoop Dogg, who we'll get to later.
Yeah, that's the thing, dude. Like, tonight, we had two guest hosts, or guest stars, or whatever you want to call them, and I feel like they were both used incredibly well.
Definitely.
Especially if you grade on a curve where you're comparing the way they were used to the way so many other guest hosts have been used, they were freaking exceptional.
Yeah, I would agree with you 100% on that. Which leaves us now to the match, which, let's be honest, even Bill Simmons kind of noted, it's kind of a free-for-all, and some guys are just waiting on the apron waiting to be tagged. And that guy in this particular instance was Ryback. He got the hot tag for the babyface team, and man, did he light it up. Everybody practically got a meat hook clothesline.
Yeah, he destroyed everybody. Literally everybody on the other team that wanted to fight Ryback got beaten up.
Exactly.
The only guy that didn't get beaten up was Mizdow, and he didn't even try to go after Ryback.
Exactly, because he was smarter than that, and obviously, he is in the process.
Well, and it doesn't help that he doesn't actually care if the other guys that were on his team get hurt.
Exactly.
Because he's a secret baby face in disguise.
Exactly.
He's a double agent, John.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But Miz eats a meat hook, which was sold beautifully well, and then a shell shock for the win.
I think that the most ringing statement that I made to you in this match was that I have gone from truly just despising The Miz to loving to hate The Miz. He's gotten so freaking good as a heel.
He really, this is his perfect gimmick. And you and I have been saying it since practically day one. This is, I think, where he always, should have been. I feel like it's all been kind of leading up to this kind of gimmick. And he's done great work with Mizdow, so much so that I really do hope it comes down to those two in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. But you'll get my fully fleshed out thoughts, when we do our preview and predictions. Cheap plug!
First plug of the night, baby. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, but yeah, that's kind of one inkling that I have, among a few others. So we'll see what happens. After that, we get some recaps. And then our next matchup is Randy Orton versus the winners of the poll, Seth Rollins, Joey Mercury, and the secret weapon of the Authority, Jamie Noble.
Shield 2.0, baby.
Yeah. How is Randy Orton going to get out of this one? Turns out the answer is very easily, apparently. 'Cause, He picks apart these guys because Seth Rollins, and that's why I love Rollins. For the time that I wanted to face palm, because I'm like, oh, you really should have seen that beating coming. You're an idiot. I'm quickly reminded why I love him in the first place.
Yeah.
Because he pretty much just lets Joey Mercury and Jamie Noble get their hands dirty. You can imagine how that went. And when Orton is looking to put Noble away the first time, Rollins tries to run in because Orton is coiled and ready to strike. He's doing his whole Viper pose. Rollins tries to run in and do a curb stomp. I was kind of hoping he'd nail it and maybe get the humiliation, but of course no. Randy Orton sidesteps it, tries to RKO Rollins, clotheslines Joey Mercury over the top rope, and then, Rollins escapes, and then he RKOs Jamie Noble, and that's the matchup. Randy Orton wins. So this is a pretty decisive victory. J&J Security didn't put up much of a fight at all, and Seth Rollins lives to fight another day, that day being WrestleMania 31. I will say, that little interaction got me a bit more excited for their matchup than I was originally, and I know I was pretty downtrodden about after that huge beatdown segment, but they're starting to get me back a little bit.
Yeah.
So, good stuff. Anything you want to say about this, or can I move on?
Oh, well, I mean, I did enjoy this segment. I enjoyed the interaction that these guys had. To me, the star of this match was Jamie Noble.
Yeah, dude, he's so... Again, secret weapon of the Authority.
I just mean because he's so good at selling and making Randy Orton look like $1 million.
Definitely. And it's such a great role for these guys because they've always been like two undercard guys. Never in their careers did they really transcend a certain point. And yet they get to be a part of something as big as the Authority. It's got to be so cool for them to have interactions like this on a weekly basis. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I even told you, when we talk about the tag team division and the tag team titles, I would prefer J&J Security to be in contendership before Los Matadores because I honestly believe they're more relevant than Los Matadores at this point.
Yeah.
But, we'll get to that a little bit later as well.
I mean, they are more relevant, and that's kind of the word of choice, though, because relevant doesn't necessarily mean legitimate. I mean, as relevant as J&J Security are, they're only relevant because they're jokes.
That is true.
Los Matadores have actually won matches recently.
That is also true. So we go from that, and, again, we get more recaps, WWE Network advertising. Why pay $6 to $5 for WrestleMania 31 when you could just pay $9.99, Moggle? And then we see Paige backstage, she's getting ready. AJ Lee walks up, and she says, I just find it a bit funny. Nikki's giving us this title shot, and then she's allowing us to decide amongst ourselves, who's going to get it. I feel like this is just trying to divide us. She's trying to tear us apart. And then, Paige says that she's had to deal with them while AJ was away, and if she's got a shot now, she's going to take it. And she says, AJ, you'd be crazy to turn down a title shot. And then AJ says, what did you call me? Because we know that's her click word. That's her trigger phrase. And Paige just says, almost a little condescending, at least from where I was sitting.
Yeah, dude, this was so weird. Like, I almost felt like Paige is playing heel here.
Yeah, because she's like, don't worry about it, Pumpkin, this and that. And she hugs her and all that stuff, and then she kind of walks off. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like, oh, AJ, you and your psychological issues are so adorable. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, more or less. And
like, wow, Paige, I mean, what?
Way to douche it up.
Yeah, pretty much.
We go from
Paige
that...
was a real dick in that segment.
Yeah, she was. But, we still love her anyway. And we go from that to the Divas Championship match, Paige versus Nikki Bella. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I mean, commercial break or not, I felt like
dude, this, honestly, you know what? I'm hard pressed to call this, to not call this match of the night.
Yeah.
I mean, the 10-man tag, blah, 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 but I think it really does kind of come down to this or Bryan Ziegler, and I think that this actually got more time than that. Gordon Maston on Twitter timed this match, and it was like 10 minutes and 40-some seconds from bell to bell.
And see, here's my thing, dude. The only reason I would personally award it my match of the night is that, how can I phrase this? I feel like it had the more difficult task. Because here's the thing, right? You put Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler in a ring together, you know the crowd's going to be into it. You know they're going to react. These two women, with 10 minutes, according to Gordon Maston, who timed it, had to suck a crowd in, had to tell a story that they could feel like they were a part of, because they're a part of a division that's been synonymous with piss breaks and snack breaks for a countless number of years.
Yeah.
And I feel like towards the tail end of the match, they got the crowd. I heard reactions. People seemed to be getting into it.
Yep.
And for achieving that feat, I have to give it to them, because I feel like when you're Ziggler and
There
Bryan,
were even, I heard, "Let's go Paige" chants.
Yeah. So you could see, and like they did some great near falls. Like at one point, Nikki Bella even kicked out of the Rampage, which you called, to your credit. And I feel like that's great for Nikki, because despite being a heel, she didn't have to rely on Brie doing any kind of run-in. She shows that she's a resilient champion. She's been around long enough to know how to fight for that title and keep it if need be. And so that was a great moment. And yeah, it got people invested. And for doing that, when you come from the division that you come from, when you come from the brand that you come from, compared to a Ziggler and a Bryan, that yes, we can have our complaints, they're being held down, it's politics, this and that, they're always going to have the crowd in the palm of their hand. It comes easy to them. It's just another day at the office. These women went out and they earned it. And for that, I have to give them my top compliments, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they were great.
Also liked how, this match was both, a highly competitive thing, but also a storytelling device.
Yeah.
Because towards the end, Brie tries to get involved, but AJ, neutralizes her. And then Paige comes up from behind. AJ gets to check on her, check on the situation. AJ misreads the situation, thinks that it's Nikki about to perpetrate an assault on her, elbows her.
Or did she?
Or did she? Yes, looming question mark. Elbows Paige. Paige is out. Nikki comes in. I thought Nikki might have laid AJ out, but she didn't. AJ's just kind of looking remorseful and just thinking, oh no, what did I do? What did I do? Nikki gets Paige back in the ring, hits the rack attack, and that's pretty much the win. And afterwards, AJ goes in the ring to try and help Paige up and check on her while the Bellas are celebrating, and Paige's had enough. She takes down AJ, and they pretty much begin brawling. So this team has imploded on the go-home show before Mania. Interesting theory going in, though, is that people believe that the Bellas may be in for an implosion at WrestleMania. So I don't know.
I'm telling you, man, it's so ridiculous, because I've been calling this now for so long. Well, I shouldn't say for so long. It's been a little while, though. They're going to get this stupid, meaningless, completely worthless, pointless tag team match done at WrestleMania, and nobody's going to give a crap, and nobody's going to have any reason to give a crap. And then they're going to get it right at Extreme Rules. At Extreme Rules, we're going to get a Fatal 4-Way for the Divas title, and it's actually going to be a match that matters, and it's going to be great, I'm sure. But the fact that they're so stupid that they don't have the foresight to foresee that that's the match that really matters, and that this stupid tag match is literally meaningless. I wish that they would give me a match that I could care about for WrestleMania between women, but it's a tag team match. There are no tag team Divas championships. I don't give a crap who wins this match. I've got no reason to care who wins this match. At the end of the day, if I had to guess, I'm guessing that either Paige or AJ will pin Nikki Bella to set up the Fatal 4-Way at Extreme Rules, which is ridiculous to me, because you shouldn't be using your biggest show of the year as a launching point to start a feud that has, I shouldn't even say to start a feud, to continue a feud that's been going on. WrestleMania is for finishes. WrestleMania is where feuds come to a decisive ending, and they're going to use it in this case to just kind of perpetuate something that's been going on for months now.
Yeah. Really no contention with you on any count whatsoever. Again, really appreciate the effort these two women put in this match. I mean, we even had Nikki doing a disaster kick at one point, which was great.
Yeah, like a triangle disaster kick even, because she did it out of the corner.
Yeah, really nice. I mean, she pulled out the Alabama slam, kind of accentuating her power offense, fleshing that out. So it was good stuff.